This is the only packing list for Milsim that you really need. If you're going for your first Milsim game, stick till the end because in this video we will find so many tips and tricks and things and list of the things that you should definitely have on your first longer game. So first off and most important thing, which is backpack. For 2-3 days game you should have at least 40 liters of capacity. I had it before, but it was pretty tight for me. If you're running, with sleeping system, with food, with water, with clothing. Right now I've got around 65, 55 the backpack, 5 liter for each of these cargo pouches right here, and it's enough for me right now. And don't be cheap right here because backpack and boots is the most important thing actually. If you will hike like 20, 30 or even 40 kilometers per day with all this stuff on your back, you need to have good quality backpack that is breathable, that have stiff suspension, and it will help to carry all this stuff on your back pretty comfortable. So that's really important, don't be cheap right there. Here I have V-Sport Crafter 55 liter version, also the V-Sport cargo pouches 5 liter each on the sides. I've got it from Military First from the UK, so big shout out to them. Great quality stuff, I really recommend that. Check out the description for more. It's great backpack with really interesting opening system. It's like a suitcase because you can just open it just like a suitcase. I really like this kind of stuff. Because you don't need to actually, search for certain things. It's much easier access to bottom part of the backpack. It's really helping in place management. I had before normal backpack, and yeah, it was pain in the ass for searching some of the things. You needed to take them out, search for things. Now you've got easy access to whole backpack. So we've got the backpack and what's inside. Basically the biggest space taker, which is sleeping system. Basically there are two types of events. First is where you have operation base and you can actually leave your backpack in the base. And in this kind of scenario, I recommend to have small tent with you. Second is when you actually have to carry everything with you, which is much more harder. I've mentioned the tent, and it's a great option if you have the place to pitch it. It will keep you protected from the wind, from the rain. It's also warmer inside. Fact is, it's heavy, so it's only the option if you don't need to carry it with you. However, if you're moving around with all your stuff and you need to set up your sleeping pretty fast, I recommend to have some bivy bag or hammock because it will take you maximum of 5 minutes to actually set your camp. Important thing, remember about isolation from the ground. You can have some sleeping bag, however it's taking some place. What I recommend is this one-person mattress. It's smaller, much more comfortable while you're sleeping on it. Also it will give you, I think, better isolation. Also it's really easy to just, inflate it. So it's so fast to inflate it actually. It will take you like 1 minute to set up everything. So I can really recommend this stuff. Remember, even if you will be in the hammock like me, while you are sleeping in the sleeping bag, it will compress from the bottom. So you will not have this isolation. It's just how it is. So you need some under blanket under your hammock, or like me, I'm just putting this mattress into it and sleeping on it. So, it keeps me isolated from the ground, from the wind. So keep in mind that your sleeping bag will compress because that can be, a real big issue if you forget about it. And talking about sleeping bags, actually, of course, it depends on the season. Of course, in the winter you will have some warmer. On the, summer you will have some thinner ones. But what I recommend is to actually buy some synthetic ones because they are really low-weighted and easy to compress. But you need to keep them dry because if they get wet, they will, don't give you any protection and any, isolation. And about this rain protection, most of the bivy bags are waterproof, so that is not a big deal there. However, if you are on the hammock or you are just sleeping on the ground, you should have some rain protection and you should have tarp. This is a piece of waterproof material that will just keep you dry and will protect you from the rain. Also, if you have this operation base, I really recommend you to have this kind of some tourist chair. It's just nice to sit on it, not on the ground, so recommend that stuff. Next chapter, clothing. I always trying to have at least 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of underwear, 1 extra thermoactive t-shirt, some fleece hat and fleece jacket to keep me warm in the colder days or in the night. I've got also windshield jacket, which is actually waterproof. And about this fleece material, actually I really like it because it's really lightweighted. It will not overheat you because it's just breathable. Also, if it will get wet, it's dry really fast. You'll just take it out on your backpack and it will be dry in 2-3 hours. Easy to compress, lightweighted. I can recommend that you should have the shirt and the hat with you, especially at night. Even in the summer, while you are sleeping, it can be like 12 Celsius degrees, so not that much. It's great to have it on you. It will just keep you warm while you are sleeping. So great stuff, I recommend this. And about jacket, it's windshield made by TMC in multicam. I love this stuff for 2 things. First off, it's really lightweighted and it's easy to compress. I always have it in my BDU pocket in my pants. So when it starts to rain, I'm just taking it out and put it on. Great stuff. Second thing is, it's actually windshield, but it has some, rain protection capabilities. I don't know how is it working, but it's getting damp inside, but the next layer of the clothing is actually dry. I had it like once for like 4 hours of total, storm and heavy rain, and my combat shirt was still dry, so a great thing. I can recommend it really much, especially that the weight is super low, and as I said, you can easily compress it and put it to your BDU pocket like that. And let's move to the next chapter, which is food and water. 3 liters of liquids for me per day is absolutely minimum to keep me hydrated. Also keep in mind that if you are operating in the night, you should have at least 1 more liter of the liquids with you, because you'll spend more hours in the field. In summer, it's so easy to dehydrate. You will have headache, you will be not able to operate, you will not have any fun. So that's the worst scenario. Always have these extra liquids like water or some isotonic drinks, and it will keep you hydrated, and you will be okay. I know it's heavy, but damn, it's like the most important thing. Sure, if you have the operation base, you can leave it in the base and just carry 2-3 liters with you. But if you actually have the backpack and everything with you, I know that 10 liters of the liquids could be heavy. However, if there's a water source on the game map, you can actually refill your 2 bottles with this kind of Sawyer filters. It's like this right here. It's a great solution because you just need to have 2 bottles of water. Also, it's great to have some purification pills with you to keep the water safe for you to drink. Okay, food right now. Sometimes I'm running the MREs, but if not, always try to have like the lightweighted food with the most amount of calories, like chocolate bars, some peanut butter, some snacks, some dry things that will provide you some energy. For example, I can recommend tortilla with peanut butter. It's really lightweighted, it's really dry, but the calories are like, at the top. So always dry food with a lot of calories. You should always have this kind of metal cap with you to boil some water on the fireplace or some on the gas cooker. It's always great to have it because you can also use it as a plate. Personally, I don't have this gas cooker. In my team, we've got like 1 per 3 to 4 people always. It's like sweet spot. Also keep in mind that you don't need to actually have everything with you if you have the team. You can split the equipment and it will be just easier for everyone. Also remember to have some fork and knife. I've got the Leatherman, so I've got 2 things in one. Great solution for me, it's working, I like it. And today's video have 2 sponsors. Military First from the UK. If you're a military geek or survival enthusiast, it's a great place for you. Check out the description for more. And second sponsor is Kurahi Gear, which is Polish manufacturer that provide us high-end quality gear such as like vests, uniforms. Click the link below. Random things that are necessary. First is baby wipes. They're like lifesavers. You can clean yourself, you can clean fork, knife. When you're going to shit, you can clean your ass too. So always have some baby wipes with you. I always trying to have 20 to 30 because it's great to have this comfort of being clean on your face, or have clean hands. Sure, you are on the field, but it's just great option. Always try to have them with you. Also, I have lighter with me, some extra batteries for my red dot, for my night vision, for my flashlight, for my torch, head torch. I've got also power bank for my phone. It's also great to have tick spray for mosquitoes and ticks, because we don't like mosquitoes. Also head torch with red and white light. Red light is great because it's not as visible as white light, especially in the night. It's great option if you need to search something in the backpack. It's great option if you are in the camp or you are setting the camp in the night. I always have head torch. Once on my first Milsim I didn't have it, and it was just nightmare to maneuver in the night. Also, you should have some basic meds and painkillers, like 2 bandages. You never know what can happen, especially if you are moving this 30-40 kilometers. You can feel some, sore on your feet or some blisters, so great to have just painkillers for that. And next thing, IKEA bags. They're great because they're waterproof, they will keep your things dry. Also, due to the different color, you can store certain things in certain color, like in the red you can have the meds, in the, yellow you can have some food. It will help you also in place management in your backpack. It will be just much easier to, have access to these things. So I recommend them. Also, I've got, as I said before, Leatherman. It's also like toolbox, so you've got the basic tools on it with it. Really must have to have some multi-tool. I really recommend that. Also, the one thing that you should always have, I've got it in this, BB's package, is like this golden emergency blanket. You never know when you will stay in the night, if you'll get wet. It's really lightweighted, it's not taking much place, but it will just keep you, dry and keep you warm. So always try to have it. It's like $3 on your local store, but it can save your ass in the bad environment. Okay, let's go to the headgear. I've got my FMA Obscure helmet copy. Great stuff, thick shell. I really recommend that. I've got also contacts for communication with my teammates. So I've got also the radio and PTT. Night vision, actually it's dummy, however on the Milsims I've got the real ones. Of course you need to have some Wilcox stuff right here to have it on it. Also I've got some padding inside. It's increasing comfort so much. When you have all this stuff for like 5 hours, it's really uncomfortable, to be honest, to have it on your head. So great to have some extra padding inside. It will just increase your comfort and you will not have this headache after some time. Mainly I'm using this stuff for CQB and the night games, or just the night time on the game, because in the day or in the forest I'm using my Pentagon bunny hat in woodland and my AMP headsets. It's just much better comfort. It's breathable. You will not sweat that much in sunny days. You've got the better surrounding awareness. So always have something else for sunny days, because wearing helmet in the forest, it's not a great idea. Even if you have this kind of helmet cover like me, still, it will be easier to spot you, and it's not that comfortable. Better to have some bunny hat and some separate headsets, or even without headset if you don't need that. Always be, prepared for different scenarios. And always try to have some face bandana, because your shiny skin in the forest is the first thing that enemy will see. So always try to hide it, and it will give you some protection, or some mosquito protection. Also it will help you while you are moving in the forest. You will not, you'll be protected from the branches. Great stuff. It's so cheap, but always try to have some skin cover, because because for clothing, just standard combat shirt, combat pants, mechanics gloves. If it's colder outside, I've got just some extra layers of the thermoactive stuff under it. It's working for me and I recommend it. Okay, let's go to the gear. The type of event will determine what kind of vests I will have with me. For example, if I have an operation base and I can leave my big backpack, I will run the plate carrier setup with my belt. Why is that? Weight and comfort. Actually, when the weight is not such a big deal because the backpack is on the base, you know, I can operate with this stuff with some cargo area on the vest and my belt for about 12 hours. I've got enough hydration, I've got enough food, I've got enough ammunition to operate up to 12 hours without any needs to going back to the base. Also, if you're running the plate carrier and the belt, it's much more uncomfortable to wear the big backpack on you. You know, it's just not comfortable. However, if there is a mission where you actually need to have this big backpack on you, I'm running this Hali Strategic Micro Rig, just 3 max, some small cargo area. If you cannot deal situation with 3 max and the 4th in the gun, you are already fucked, so I don't need more. The rest of the max and the ammunition and all this stuff is in my bigger backpack. It's really comfortable because it just have, you know, thin straps on the behind, so if I'm wearing the backpack, it's just comfortable. Also, I'm not even wearing the belt because, you know, I've got the suspension system right there, so you know, I always trying to be comfortable and, you know, as low in the weight as it's possible. If you know, moving 20, 30, 40 kilometers per day with the backpack, every kilogram matters, so that's so important to keep the weight low. Also, I mentioned that I'm running only 3 max and the 4th is in the gun. You know, in Poland we've got the real caps or 1.5 real capacity of the gun, so if you are running with AR-15 or AK, you've got actually something between 30 to 45 dBs in the magazine, so that's pretty hardcore. So if you cannot deal the situation with 200 dBs, you are fucked. Also, the ammo management is really important in that case, because, you know, you need to have at least 15, 14 max per game to actually, you know, have some ammo sources. And the last most important thing is footwear and boots. Good pair of boots is essential because you need to keep them dry, keep the feet dry, keep them protected, because if you will get some, you know, pain, your, you know, fun and performance will tremendously drop. I'm using Loa Zephyrs. It's great balance between, you know, comfort, weight and the protection, and also the water resistance. They are not perfect in any way, but they're pretty universal, so I can really recommend them. I've recorded a video about them on my channel, so check it out. And keep in mind that you should have also good pair of hiking socks, perfectly if they are made of the merino wool, because good pair of hiking socks will prevent you and will protect you from the blisters, from the, you know, pain. So they are like as important as the good pair of boots, and don't cheap out there. Also, I recommend to buy some gaiters, $7, and, you know, it will protect your feet. It will make your boots more waterproof. It will also prevent this, you know, sand, rocks and all this forest stuff going into your boot. $7, and it's just really useful, and I can recommend it. And actual gun, I don't have it with me right now, however I'm using the standard rifle with LPVO and some ear illuminator for night vision. LPVO because on the Milsims the range and the, you know, distances are much bigger, so I can observe the enemy, spot some targets, to identify the enemies on the range, because you never know who is who at some point. So it's great to have this magnification on your scope and still be able to use it on the shorter range like a red dot, so that's why LPVO is the king for me. Ear illuminator, sure, you need the, you know, laser for the night, for your night vision, so that's also really important. Also, the flashlight on your gun, great stuff for the night if you want to actually blind some night vision of the enemies, or just spot some, enemies in darker places. Always try to have the flashlight on your gun. It's really useful. Always have a sling on your gun because you don't want to hold it for like 12 hours straight in your hand. Second thing is that always try to keep the weight as low. Don't buy these accessories if you don't need that. Also keep in mind that if you are running for 30 hours, every kilogram matters, and the weight is such a big deal in this case. And thank you guys for watching. One more time, big shout out to the military first, because we love them. They've sent us this backpack. Leave the likes, leave the comments, leave the subscribe button. I really appreciate that, and see you in the next one.